and the investor. Now, where is fairness?
Mr. Priestley, let me come to you with this question, please. I agree with you. You've established one point that the Nigeria Electricity Regulatory Commission is not doing enough to protect the rights of the consumers. So that is an established fact. Now, if we keep having this challenge in the power sector, sometimes they say the grid collapse, they say it is because of inadequate gas supply to the GENCOs and all that. Now, 13 years after privatization, should we still be talking about this challenge with gas supply? Why is it difficult for government to prioritize first the supply of gas to these GENCOs before talking about export? We saw it in the petroleum sector where there was a government directive that crude should first be supplied to Dangote a refinery before you think about any other thing. Why is it difficult to prioritize gas supply first to the GENCOs?
When you look at the issue of gas, yesterday I was privileged to join the ad hoc committee set up by the House of Representatives on power sector reform. And we visited a power plant in Delta State yesterday. And what they told us, the generation company, they looked at their generation level and said that gas was becoming a problem. I asked them why. They said the pumping, that is not pumping properly. And because it's not pumping properly, they cannot really deliver what they should deliver. I asked them why. Now, the quality of equipment used to install for that gas transmission is another issue. Now, even when they have the gas and they generate, the distribution companies first offtake those power generated. And when they fail to offtake them, sometimes there will be a surge. And that surge can cause grid collapse. The question is, who is supposed to ensure that the distribution companies evacuate or use the power generated by the generation companies? Whose responsibility is it? So if you look at the whole thing, there is no proper regulation. There is no proper monitoring. There is no proper enforcement in the sector. And then the funny thing is, everybody keeps talking. If you hear the minister now, it's all about money, 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 money. The money, they are importing meter. There are local producers of meter. Why are they importing meter still? There are local manufacturers. You manufacture this meter here, and then the disco that doesn't manufacture meter, rather than evacuate this power and give to consumers, they are busy fixing the prices of meter. Now, you know very well that the quantity of energy generated cannot give Nigerians 5 hours of supply daily. Yet, the minister has encouraged, the minister and the regulator has approved Ban A 20 hours supply, making consumers pay for hours for services not delivered. So the level of injustice in this country in the power sector can never bring peace to the sector. Biblically, it is clear that when you oppress the poor, you can never progress.
All right, Mr. Priestley, just hold your thoughts.
Any society that oppresses the poor can never progress.
All right,
what is happening in the sector is, rather than put the sector properly to function well, the poor is being oppressed. Nigerians are being oppressed rather than being protected in the power sector. I think that the president needs to declare state of emergency in the power sector. The minister for power should resign. The minister for power should be resigned. TCN should be rearranged. There should be a shake-up in the sector. NEC, the way NEC is functioning, shouldn't be the way they should function. The problem is we are diplomatic in telling government the truth. Tell me why the regulator cannot insist that what the generators generate should be evacuated and given to consumers. Tell me why consumers should be forced to pay for service not delivered. Now, that alone can push people to begin to vandalize the equipment. Now, the quality of materials used, that you come to the quality of those who are installing. The installation of these facilities becomes another issue. If these facilities are wrongly installed, you cannot get good results. That is why, even as we speak now, the Nigerian Electricity Management Services Agency we've been advocating and they've accepted. By the grace of God, in the next few weeks or months, a program will come on board. They want to mobilize more electrical technicians, equip them to get certified, so that there will be more qualified installers in the sector to reduce the number of quacks.
We'll continue with this conversation.
Carry out installation. When quacks carry out installation, there's no how you can get quality delivery.